And now for our next news special report.
Folks, we're on the brink of a historic moment in American politics. Picture this: the Democrats, armed with their arsenal of legal challenges, aimed directly at one man, Donald Trump, in their goal to prevent him from running in the 2024 presidential race. But here's where the plot thickens. A Denver judge just threw a wrench right in their plans, delivering a monumental ruling that's shaking the political landscape to its core. This isn't just about Trump's eligibility. It's a battle for the very soul of our republic, and the stakes, our values, our American values, and the right of the people to choose their leader. This story has it all: the conflict, the drama, and the fight for justice. So you don't want to miss our in-depth analysis and a revealing final thought. They'll make you see the saga in a whole new light. So stay with us. This is one report you can't afford to skip. Now, folks, before we dive into this groundbreaking report, let's acknowledge those who make our reporting possible. Just like how President Trump stands resilient against his adversaries, our sponsors are the sturdy pillars supporting our quest for truth. And when you choose to support them, it's like you're echoing Trump's fight against political manipulation, a testament to the upholding of free speech and fair elections. They offer top-tier products, including an exceptional collagen supplement. You can see it right here. The link's down there. It's instrumental in maintaining youthful vitality. Not just any product. It's a testament to resilience and quality, mirroring our commitment to delivering unfiltered news. So by backing them, you're empowering us to continue bringing you the unvarnished truth, and you're supporting our health and your health. Support our sponsors, support our cause. It's that simple. Healthwithgary.com. Now, let's get back to our important story. A momentous decision came from a Denver court, shaking the foundations of the political world. District Court Judge Sarah Wallace ruled in favor of Donald Trump's eligibility for the 2024 presidential ballot, thwarting the Democrats' efforts to block him on the grounds of alleged insurrection. This ruling isn't just a mere legal decision, it's a bold affirmation of the enduring principles of our republic. Now, the crux of the issue was whether the 14th Amendment's provision barring insurrectionists from holding office applied to Trump. When Judge Wallace decisively stated that this provision does not apply to presidents, thus invalidating the attempt to disqualify Trump. This legal interpretation upholds a crucial value: the right of the people to select their leaders unimpeded by partisan maneuverings. Now, petitioners had aimed to use Section 3 of the Constitution to prevent Secretary of State Jenna Griswold from placing Trump's name on the ballot. Griswold, maintaining neutrality on Trump's eligibility, sought a judicial ruling on the matter. After the ruling, Griswold stated the court determined that Trump is eligible to be placed on the Colorado ballot in the March presidential primary. This decision may be appealed. As Secretary of State, she says, "I will always ensure that every voter can make their voice heard in free and fair elections." However, Griswold's post-ruling actions painted a very different picture. She appeared on liberal cable news networks voicing strong opposition to Trump. Where do you think she went? MSNBC. With who? Jen Psaki. She attacked Donald Trump. She said, Trump's attacks on our democracy continue today. Her words: "The American people will have to protect democracy at the ballot box in 2024. Watch."
So let me start by just asking you what your reaction is to the ruling and what this means in Colorado.
Well, I think first off, having the court say that the former president engaged in insurrection is big news for the entire country. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump is a danger to American democracy, and that's something that's really novel about this case, that the judge decided that. But ultimately, she has ordered me to put him on the ballot, and I will, of course, follow whatever court order is in place by the time I certify the ballot.
Trump is a threat. She further expressed surprise at the ruling in another MSNBC show, remarking, quote, "The idea that any official who would engage in insurrection would be barred from taking office except the presidency is incredibly surprising." Watch.
You said to me then, which literally almost every Secretary of State in the country to whom NBC has spoken said, that you're likely not going to be the last voice on this thing. You can do what you may think you need to do, but this is definitely going to the courts. So that's what happened in Colorado. It went to the courts, and lots of people are surprised by what happened yesterday. Are you?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on, Allie. Always great to be on your show. And yes, this is a surprising ruling. I think you are really hitting it on the head. The idea that any official who would engage in insurrection would be barred from taking office except the presidency is incredibly surprising. That basically means that the presidency is a get out of jail free card for insurrection. As someone who cares deeply about the state of our democracy, I find that very troubling. The American people need to know that the president, the person, if anybody, the person most in charge of protecting the Constitution, actually has a duty to do so. So I'm right there with you. I find it very troubling that the president of the United States could engage in insurrection and, unlike everybody else, could then be president again.
So troubling. Judge Wallace's decision came after a detailed examination of Section 3's historical application. Significantly, this ruling aligns with similar decisions in New Hampshire, Minnesota, and Michigan, all ruling in Trump's favor. These cases highlighted judicial reluctance to interfere in electoral matters, underscoring the judiciary's role in upholding, not shaping, the democratic process. Trump's attorney, former Secretary of State Scott Gessler, emphasized the voice of the people. He said, there are millions of people in Colorado and across the country who are inspired by President Trump, who are the petitioners to prevent those people from not being able to vote for him. Now, this statement echoes the American ethos where the electorate's choice is paramount. Now enter attorney Harmeet Dillon. She celebrated the victory. She tweeted, "Kudos to our team, local counsel, and President Trump." Wallace's ruling, however, went beyond the question of eligibility. It delved into the conclusions of the congressional committee investigating the January 6 events. The committee blamed Trump for the insurgency, but Trump's legal team contested these findings, arguing the committee's bias, rendering their conclusions suspect. And despite these contentions, the ruling offered a critical assessment of Trump's conduct leading up to January 6. Judge Wallace observed that, quote, Trump cultivated a culture that embraced political violence through his consistent endorsement of the same, highlighting his rhetoric around election fraud. Yet she also recognized Trump's legal right to contest election results, as had been done by Democrats in previous elections. The Democrats' narrative about the 2016 election being stolen due to alleged Russian collusion promoted by Hillary Clinton led to significant political unrest, including violent protests. This sets a precedent where holding Trump accountable for extremist interpretations of his speech could lead to similar accounts for other politicians, not standard or previously applied. There's also inconsistencies in the so-called insurrection narrative. Trump's request for additional National Guard troops contradicts the theory of an orchestrated insurrection. His announcement of stepping down on January 7th following the vote certification further discredits claims of an illegal power grab. And the release of the January 6th surveillance tapes by Speaker Mike Johnson has added new perspectives to the events of the day. These videos show a more complex picture than previously portrayed, challenging the narrative of a uniform, violent attempt to overturn the election. Ultimately, Judge Wallace's decision reaffirms Trump's right to participate in the 2024 presidential race. It's a powerful reminder of the legal system's role in safeguarding the principles against partisan attempts to influence electoral outcomes. If you got value from this report, go ahead and tap subscribe and stay up to date with our factual, unbiased reporting. Ladies and gentlemen, the ruling in favor of Donald Trump and his eligibility for the 2024 ballot isn't just a win for him or his supporters. It's a victory for every American who believes in the sanctity of our electoral process. It underscores the vital importance of upholding the rule of law over partisan politics. This decision, cutting through the noise and chaos of political agendas, reaffirms our republic's commitment to our democracy. where every voice has a right to be heard and every candidate has the right to run. In our great nation, it's the people who should decide their leader, not the whims of political parties or the subjective interpretations of the law. The story matters because it's about protecting our fundamental rights and ensuring that our electoral system remains a beacon of democracy unmarred by unfounded legal challenges and partisan maneuvering. It's about preserving the core values that make our republic strong, just, and free. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.